if you want to be in a position to do things like help, sponsor universal health care, help pass universal education, you're going to need to get money from places like Duke Energy. If you go to DC...
No. That's not the argument.
I'm just saying. But I'm just going to go to it because if you go to DC and you go to the fucking K Street, you're gonna see.
Always becomes the talk.
You're gonna see
strategically.
These.
You guys are just like, you got to bend over for the plutocracy.
No, but if you're from certain areas of the country campaigning in those states, you can't shun that type. Duke Energy is a major campaign. It's one of the biggest campaign contributors in the southeastern United States. And if you're going to run for president of the United States, you're going to have to compete for that money on some level, or else it's going to go completely to your competitor.
I give up.
If you want to do any of that stuff you want to do, you're gonna have
Joey,
to.
This is why I gotta bring you. This is what I gotta deal with when you're not here. This is the best. This is as good as it gets.
But it's
Bridgemon just argues you gotta accept plutocracy, man.
I'm not saying accept. That's not.
You gotta get that money.
I'm not saying that at all. If you're running, it costs money to run presidential campaigns in this country.
Yeah, and how did Bernie Sanders? He went and peddled his ass to every oil company in the country.
He didn't win the Southeast, did he? He didn't win any state that has a certificate.
But Bernie Sanders raised more money than anyone else.
Yeah, from personal private donors. That's amazing. Yes.
I mean, everything you're saying.
But it's still lost.
Hold on. Why did you not vote for Bernie Sanders? Explain that to me, because literally everything that you've ever said to me suggests you should have voted for.
I know why. He's got political ambitions.
That makes no sense at all.
Eyes if you're listening, he's rolling his.
I knew who was going to win this election. And
that's what you said. This is what I'm talking about. That dynamic wasn't there. Bernie would have won.
Can I defend myself? I wasn't
attacking you. I was just pointing out that it wasn't for that. If it wasn't for people like you, Bernie would have won.
Yeah.
To advocate and push for the issues that I wake up every morning and fight for, it's better to be on the winning team and have some traction on that.
What? Wait, what?
It is. I'm sorry.
Hold on. No,
I knew she was going to win. I knew she was going to win. I know that.
This is why people don't get involved in politics. It's because you say, hey, come get involved, and then you say, you got to be skeezy as hell, do whatever you can for that oil money.
That doesn't make any
sense. This is how you got to get elected. And then people stabbing each other in the back.
And you're not the only people tell me that it's skeezy, but if I want something to happen, everybody tells me this, because...
other people
my cousin says it's, my drug dealer says it's skeezy.
All my young black friends, they're like, oh, you voted for Hillary. How could you do that? How could you be supporting Hillary? But if I want to accomplish anything, I have to support them.
You could have gone in the booth. Nobody knows.
But I don't understand. You could have supported the candidate that you believed in.
I believe her, and I believe her genuinely.
You could have supported Bernie Sanders, and then after he loses, or whenever we want to accept that he's lost, then you could go and help Hillary Clinton.
I'm not an average citizen.
There's nothing exclusive about
I'm not an average citizen. I'm not an average citizen.
As a public servant.
I'm not an average citizen.
Future public servant.
If I want to do certain things later on in life, it's more beneficial for me.
And you don't think that Ted Terry or Vincent Ford or a whole slate of other people couldn't say the same thing? I mean they went out and supported Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I don't have the political capital that they do either.
If anything, I think people appreciate their honesty in that sense. And it seems like you've not
do support
given
Hillary.
them that.
I mean, it's not anything like that,
But the only reason you've given is because she was gonna win anyway. That's a terrible reason to support somebody.
Not for Bridgemon.
You might as well have supported Ronald Reagan in the 80s because Reagan's gonna win anyway.
This is what I'm saying. The more I've been around politics,
the ideological difference there is just too vast. I have like I said, I'm left of center. She's
right of center.
She's not right of center at all. I'm not that far to the left.
Bridgemon's moving the center post.
I'm not that far to the left. And I consider myself to be in between,
Hillary Clinton and Bernie
moderate and far left progressivism. I'm like,
you're somewhere in between there.
I in the middle of it. I feel like I'm
a black nationalist, but he wants to get elected too.
Well, my whole thing is, I knew that this campaign was going to do a lot of good things. As far as with Bernie Sanders' campaign, I knew it was going to do a lot of good things. But I also knew that the people who organized this campaign and who were, most passionate about it we're not going to do what it takes to get it done.
Oh, you mean roll over and support Hillary after the?
No, I'm not saying it.
What are you saying?
I mean, like, show up at your damn delegate election.
Oh my God!
When you
You're bringing up
to
one
be a delegate.
Oh my God!
Because of a story.
Oh my God.
I told you the
This is
story.
amazing.
I told you the story.
And what else, Scott? Scott, what did I say to you when they were naming all these people? I said, this is why I lost. I said it to you. I was like, this is why I lost.
But you also have to look at the. It's not. You also have to look at the dynamics of the whole race. I mean, at this point, he's counted out. And I mean, how many people, like, when was this? All the Hillary people weren't there this weekend, and most of the Bernie people were. There was the proportion of Bernie people there was higher than the proportion of Hillary people there. The elected delegates.
Look, I don't know. I don't normally say this.
If that's the case, Steve Henson wouldn't have been elected chairman or whatever the fuck he was.
You mean DuBois?
Not Steve Henson, DuBois. Yeah.
I was like, really, Henson?
Yeah. But DuBois won an election.
No, I mean, obviously there were a lot more Hillary delegates than there were Bernie, but like in total, there was like 20 people missing, and there was only like 30 Bernie delegates.
I really hate to say this, but you should have voted for Bernie Sanders, man. I feel like you sold out.
A lot of people are gonna feel that way, but I don't give a damn.
Joey says some bullshit, but sometimes he's spot on.
I picked the right team.
So always
pick the right team. I picked the winning team.
I picked the right team.
Oh my God!
See, this is why. The more you've been talking about being establishment now. I'm all involved in this political system. Yeah, and I'm seeing how fucking disgusting it is, dude. Seriously, you guys don't even know. It's not even just this.
Well, guess what?
Not even just.
Are you gonna stay involved with it, or are you gonna turn with revolt and let the system stay as it is?
Yo, the system ain't gonna stay what it is. If it was gonna stay what it is, I wouldn't be involved at all. I'd be like, the system's fine. It's gonna be fucked up, but it'll maintain. The system is not sustainable, dude. Like that's part of why this is like an emergency and why we're on a time frame with these issues we've got. Like starting with global warming, but it affects everything, and everyone's just really facetious about how it'll affect everything going into the future, and it's gonna affect all these issues, like in ways that you're just not really trying to think about right now.
I mean, I know
and it's
these
gonna make
things.
it all so hard.
I know.
How are we gonna
things.
get universal health care when we got to build a seawall around every coastal city in the country? Like, we're going to have huge costs associated with just like...
But if Bridgemon supports Hillary, then he gets to be in charge of building those seawalls. Right, Bridgemon?
Before that happens, he's going to start up a construction company.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good with her. I'm just saying.
Not yet, dude, but you're a delegate, dude. You can be...
Yeah, I'm an alternate delegate. I don't have to do any real work. I just get to be there and kick shit. So
say the name is Bridgemon Bulger.
Unless somebody dies.
But everything that you said is illustrating like a really. It's almost
how
like
do we unify the party? Like you guys
a
aren't
dirty candidate and a campaign.
So
and
we're recording, right?
That's really
we're recording. Like, this is going to be on the internet.
I don't
like
care.
Most disingenuous supporters.
I don't really.
You vote for Hillary for your thing, but now you'll be all super cynical openly. And I don't care if this is public. I don't care.
I don't care.
This is going to be in a Super PAC commercial in 5 years down the line.
I don't care.
My name's Bridgemon Bulger. I don't care.
And I know what it takes to win.
Get that money.
I know what it takes to win.
I'm on the winning team. I don't care.
Because the things I want to do in life, I cannot do unless we win. So,
but the way you're winning means you can't do those things, though. Do you not see that? The way you're winning means you can't do those things. That is the problem.
That's not true either.
That's the problem with continuing the system like it is.
True.
That is true.
It's either losing or...
Name one.
Damn it, I actually agree with Scott. Dang it. No.
Joey's coming to the light side.
Losing and being able to do nothing. I don't see where there's any winning. Like going to the convention and pissing everybody off and getting nothing done.
The point is,
like, what is the point?
Look, Bridgemon.
But that's
Bridgemon,
not.
like I said, I'm not going to go to the convention and talk
big.
about Hillary's email servers. Okay, I'm going to go there.
You're not, but somebody is.
No, and I'm going to tell them to shut up. I'm going to tell them that's not how you win. Like I will keep them like at least the Bernie. The Georgia ones, I'll deal with that. I'll tell them to other states I'm not taking no responsibility for. Georgia ones, like I'm gonna make sure no one says that.
It's not the way it works.
Make sure no one says that twice.
That's not the way it works at the Democratic National Convention. You can't just stick with your delegation and this is what we're gonna do. You have to negotiate with other states and come to some resolution. Okay, how many people can you get for this particular piece of the platform? Because they're gonna vote down the line. I've been there before.
But
like,
we were talking about yelling at superdelegates about Hillary's email server, and now you're talking about votes. Like, we're not gonna. What do you?
I'm just saying when you're trying to but see, I'm on a whole. You're still talking about trying to sway superdelegates.
But even if okay, but I'm saying you were the one saying that was gonna fuck everything up.
I'm talking about your platform fight. That's what
people are gonna do. Okay, platform fight.
I'm talking about your platform
Let's talk
fight.
about the platform fight. Let's move on. So let's say, all right, platform fight. Now what? How do you get? Let's say that so we'll live in you guys' reality now where there's no chance. We'll take that 1% away.
Okay.
Minus 1% chance of hope. We're back to 0. So
and I think y'all by Wednesday you'll be there. So
that's fine. I've been hopeless my whole life.
By Wednesday, what's that? The 26th, the 27th. Yeah, you'll be there. So.
Okay, dude. And so while the Hillary supporters rub that in, dude, we're gonna be sitting there wondering how long it takes before they realize they really actually need to try to win us over.
But you only got so much political capital going into this thing, and by being confrontational,
I think we have a lot more than you, and that's what you're missing.
I know how much you exactly.
I know actual political capital, but like Democrats don't understand how politics works. So I'm gonna break that down for you. Like you don't understand. You have to have an inspiring candidate to inspire people to get involved. With. At the 7,000 people, Bernie goes and does one internet speech. 7,000 people that night sign up and pledge to run in local and state, races. That was like a couple days ago. So, show me a Democrat who's going to do that and make that happen overnight. Is Hillary Clinton going to do that?
And you're going to say that you're right. Democrats don't know how politics works because for the majority of people in states across this damn country, you've already passed the deadline to qualify to even.
Well, obviously not for this election. Like, dude, have you heard of brand new Congress? A lot of Bernie staff is going over to brand new Congress.
I'm more. I think that's a more sustainable and realistic fight at this point. And
of course you do.
Heading to 18 in 2020.
Team HRC, you're all about those low expectations. I know you
love that shit. That's not a low expectation. That's a bigger fight than this is a way bigger challenge than it's one person getting elected. It's the president of the United States. You're trying to get 500 something seats you're going after with brand new Congress. I think that's a way more monster to tackle than getting one person elected the president of the United States.
Isn't it easier to do when you have an inspiring candidate, which is Scott's point?
Thank you.
I see what he's. I see that there. I see that there, but I don't think that Hillary Clinton should. Anybody that's thinking about running at 18 or 20 is going to be turned off from running because Hillary Clinton is.
Well, I think you're very disconnected from people. I mean, Joey, just tell him he's wrong.
I feel like we keep getting away from.
Why would you be? Why would you? Why would you? Why?
I'm not saying I would. I'm not saying I would. But you said people. You didn't say Scott Brown. You said people. I don't see why people. I'm telling you, trust me.
That doesn't make any sense. If I'm inspired to run for office because of Bernie Sanders and because he lost, I'm not going to be like, oh well, fuck it. I'm just going to.
Other people have already gotten cynical and pretty much dropped out of the process and might not. I mean, I'm telling you, there's probably 20% of the under 25 Bernie voters in the primary will probably never vote again because they get so cynical and they, it's.
Do you really think that they're never going to vote again, or that they're just not going to vote?
I think you guys really. We were just talking about how many cynical people.
I think he brought more people to the process that are going to stay in than it's going to be people that's going to leave because of.
I think that's wrong.
I definitely think he's brought more people into the process that are going to leave.
He's brought more people into the process. Definitely he brought more people into the process, but I think there were more people who voted for him and won't be involved in the process from now on because he didn't get the nomination than there are that are now involved in the process.
I think it's people.
My point is it's a huge opportunity.
Once you are woke, you are forever woke. Once you see the light, you cannot go back into the darkness.
I know you say woke, but what does woke mean? Voting for Hillary in November? Not to everybody.
No, not necessarily, but. You are aware of you are aware of the issues.
And a lot of people get cynical and never vote. They say it's a two-party system. They're both the same. They're both run by corporations, big money, Wall Street, Monsanto. I don't care how some people get too paranoid and cynical, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But I'm telling you, this is a large segment of Americans. I'm sorry, I've been talking to thousands of voters, fucking dealing with social media shit for years, seeing people's opinions, and I get the amount of frequency there is on different platforms and different campaigns. I see this shit. I see conservatives, independents, just straight up cynics. A lot of them who are tired of the two-party system. I know you guys and the Democratic Party is completely blind to them right now because they don't normally vote, but they're real.
I got nothing to say. I agree with you.
I mean, we're just missing a huge opportunity. And basically, I'm saying this is the argument we need to make to superdelegates and be like, look, this is what we're passing up. So if you're all right with this on your conscience and you're all right with risking it and gambling it, and you think this is the safest bet and it's best for, maybe you're cynical like Bridgemon and you just think, oh well, this is where the money's at, we're gonna win. It's
no.
Way.
Why am I cynical? Because I can't.
That's the definition of cynical.
Again. You in order for you to get any of these fancy great ideas that you have to win. You have to win.
I know, but if you win by taking, becoming indebted, the thing is, then you win. But see, here's what happens.
Then you can change the system.
Yeah, you say that, but then you get in there and you realize, oh, we need another 2 years to change the system. So you need another election cycle of tens of thousands of dollars from corporate contributors so you can keep up that fight. And so they're like, oh, well, you're going to do that. Well, no, we got to get our lobbyists, get a hold. You know how this, that's not.
Our system has changed
so much. You don't go and
take. Our system has, since the inception of our Constitution, it has changed so much towards the direction of a more perfect union. That is the goal.
Since when?
But
we're not better. We're not better than we were in 1776.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like 1970s. I didn't know. That's what I was asking your time frame.
We're better than we were in the 1970s.
We're talking about when we were born.
Better, overall, we're moving closer in the right.
I think
direction.
our political system is worse, but our economy is probably better. But our society is probably better.
It is. I mean, come on now.
I mean, there's different.
Yeah.
Well, when you say our society is better, you also got to remember we're also, 30, 40 years down the line, closer to, climate collapse now, where we haven't done jack about global warming. A problem we knew about 120 years before the 1970s. So
it's so much money invested into renewable energy. When we do reach a collapse, we're going to have a solution. I believe that. I used to believe that. And also, I believed that we were going to reach peak oil and everything was going to go down the shithole. But I think that there's enough people in the world globally,
fry the planet
not just in America.
Oil.
If it was
now
solely,
we got natural gas. That wasn't a realistic fear.
If it was solely to the United States to look beyond oil, then I would be concerned. But considering that we have the rest of the world working on this thing,
but look, look at the dynamics. This is what I'm saying, because you don't really I feel like you're just not paying attention to the actual dynamics of the global climate change fight.
But you do, and you know there's strides made every day.
And what?
There are strides made.
I know, and I know it's not enough. I know that.
The prime example: the price of solar panels 10 years ago compared to today.
I know. That's great. That's great. And
we're moving.
Joey will bring up some good points, and that's great. Those are great talking points. But if we're talking about staying below 2 degrees Celsius of global warming by 2100, that's not something where you can just point out hey, I cherry picked a fact that looks good. That doesn't mean we're gonna get there at all. We're not on the route to getting there.
Every year,
and you can cherry pick facts.
Every year, there are more hybrid cars on the road. There are more people.
Yeah.
There are more.
I'm sorry.
More people using solar. More people using alternative.
I'm not going to say we're not making progress.
And our carbon footprint is decreased. Is it not? Has our carbon footprint not decreased? And just while Obama's been in office,
it has decreased.
All right. So with that being the case, are we not moving in the right direction?
And I think it's decreased by 15%.
That's a substantial amount for one of the largest carbon producers on the planet.
Yeah, but we've also got, look, we've got to take it. Here's the problem. Basically, America, we're at this unique point where we really do direct where the world goes on climate change. And this is why, you got to pay attention for a second and think about the global dynamic. And you're saying no, true. And I didn't even bring up my reasons yet. How are you saying no? And
because the rest of the world has looked beyond America on climate change, and they don't look to us for a leader.
I think they're halfway there. They don't look to us for a leader.
Russia is even more advanced than us than them, looking for.
Were we not the ones that led the Paris conference? Were we not the ones that did the deal with China, or that did the deal with India, or the deal with Brazil?
We also collapsed Copenhagen, which is where we had a chance of real binding solutions. But okay, so yeah, we passed some fluffy language in Paris, and the U.S. led that because they knew better than to, try to get anything binding.
The rest of the world,
but why?
The rest of the world
hold up, Bridgemon, can I get my argument out? Because still, this has been 4 minutes. I still haven't said what America needs to take head on, needs to invest heavily in other countries too, going to renewable energy, because we've got this huge carbon debt from our history, from benefiting so much from pumping all this into the air. Developing countries see that and they say, you've benefited from this for 50 years. And now you want us to, not use all our coal, use all our cheapest energy, which is the cheapest right now. And, places like India at first after Paris were F that, you guys got to, at Paris, they were America's got to do a lot more. It's got to help us out a lot more to reach these renewable energy goals. And this has been the stumbling block since, for decades.
But
this is why we don't have any action, because the developing world, we point at the developing world, say, look at all these emissions coming from basically poor people getting middle class and, developing a country in, India and China. And we point to them and say, well, if you're not going to do it, we're not on board. And they point to us, say, you're not sacrificing enough, so you're not doing enough, so we're not getting on board. And it's just,
but wasn't that the reason that the deals with Brazil and China and India that the Obama administration pulled off were so important? Was it as a way of getting over that hurdle?
Yeah, but right now there's nothing set. There's just.
I mean, I like that you're sounding the alarm, but it's like you're sounding the alarm in a way that is almost.
We need to take serious action. We can't just this country.
You don't appreciate any of the progress.
Seriously. And the thing is, we're missing. We're not factoring. A lot of the climate models don't factor in a lot of feedback cycles. They don't factor in a lot of different things that we do, and the trends and what we eat and stuff.
I guess what I would just say is that if you don't acknowledge the fact that we've made progress in certain ways,
I am acknowledging
or
that,
how we're going to make progress going into the future, that means that you could make a decision that would not make sense. Like, for instance, someone would not go out and vote for Hillary Clinton based on climate change. That wouldn't make sense, considering that what we've done and what we need to do has to do with her
I don't think
being
Hillary
elected,
takes the problem seriously.
using EPA rules, using the State Department, and building on the success that we've created.
I mean, she uses global warming as a talking point to just point out how Republicans deny it, and then for applause afterwards. I haven't seen her really say anything to make even when she said she bragged about being a part of Copenhagen, COP 15, right? And that was horrible. It was like anyone who knew about climate politics, it's like that. Why would you want to associate yourself with that? That was the pinnacle of failure on global carbon solutions, and that was the peak time when we should have dealt with it. When it was okay, now it's getting a little late, and then it fell through because America wasn't willing to sacrifice enough. Obama flew in last minute and thought he could save the day, and guess what? Developing countries weren't having that, and a lot of it is Congress isn't on board. But again, we get back to how do you change Congress? You got to have inspiring leaders to inspire people to turn out. I know, but then you're ignoring the solution. The solution is to get inspiring presidential candidates, like it or not. This is what I was telling.
I don't see how that's the solution.
No, I think that's a solution, but it gets further and further away from what's going on right now.
But
it's not because look, if we don't.
What does that have to do with starting a grassroots campaign? Shirley Chisholm didn't have any damn great fucking. Come on now, it was.
He's waving his arms summon something. I don't know.
I'm just saying there was no great Democrat.
For what it's worth, I mean, Lyndon Johnson and Richard Nixon won in landslide elections, and I don't think anyone would say that they were charismatic or inspiring figures.
But they were also lived in a time when it wasn't mass media. Now it's a lot different. People had, access to TVs then, but now it's everyone's watching tons of the shit in high definition on their smartphone.
I'll actually disagree with you there.
Any gaffe is going to get, hundreds of, Hillary Clinton wears a $13,000 suit and there's going to be memes about it for weeks.
And Hitler rose to power with less technology than LBJ. So
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and disagree and just say, Richard Nixon versus McGovern, if it was the same population, same people, and you give them social media, I don't think that the election in 1972 would have been different. Well, yeah, if you already
choose the candidates, but
what I'm saying is if you hold everything constant and you just introduce social media, that's not going to change everything in terms of making what should be a landslide.
I think it would have made civil rights, sped up civil rights, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it would have. I think it would have been beneficial for certain issues.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you there. But no. I mean, you don't have to be inspiring to win in a landslide.
Like John Lewis on Snapchat.
You can be a reasonable and safe candidate against somebody.
Look, here's our problem now, though. We're at a new
scares
point.
People, and you can win in a lot.
We're at a new point in human history, with global warming, and the way we just totally rewrote this planet, remade the surface of it, and we're at an important point in American democratic history, in the party and as the country. Basically, we've reached the peak now that globalization is we're kind of integrating, and we've had, for 50 years, our post-World War II, handicap, basically. We were helped out, we were ahead of the rest of the world because most of them were just bombed to shit in World War II. We had a huge, industries to, and huge country, and we're the sole superpower, basically still sort of are, and it's slowly slipping away, mostly because of economic reasons and just because of the changing, pretty much economic reasons, but,
I don't.
People are cynical as hell now because our system is so broke, dude. Like, and people see it. I mean, you're sitting here saying you just got to follow the money. You got to get that Duke Oil energy, and this makes me want to get the fuck out of politics and say I'm just gonna go read it. Like, I'm just gonna go make some music. Fucking,
you're not gonna change
nothing. Biology. Yeah, well, when you look at this, when you see people who are supposed to be on your side who are so involved in the system, and all they say is you're not gonna change anything. We got to follow the Duke Oil money.
Just because I take your money doesn't mean I have to do anything fucking for you.
Yeah, but it does if you want it. It does if you want it in the next election, and you know that, and you're gonna realize that right after you take it.
It does not necessarily. I can't. No.
I'll find another oil company.
No. They're gonna keep these.
Like the thing is, you need to be inspiring in one election, and you need to be inspiring.
When you run for president
too.
of the United States, on the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, you're gonna get money from Duke Oil. It doesn't matter what. If Bernie Sanders, he'd have to refuse it. I guarantee you, if Bernie Sanders was nominated, he'd be refusing money from them. So, you can refuse it and have less money to go into your fight.
That's why I voted for him. I mean, yeah, but guess what? He does have to go into his fight. He's going to have people like me, millions of people across the country who are going to hit the ground talking to voters, changing minds immediately, dude. We've got networks. We've been, somewhat integrated with the campaign in different states around the country. We've got we're ready to jump as an organization and hit the ground running for a general election. Like Democrats, I don't think have seen in our lifetime, but we're not going to do it because, we're following that Duke Energy money. That Wall Street cash, and we're gonna pretend that millions and millions of dollars in Wall Street fees doesn't influence you at all. Like,
all right,
Democratic Party amazes me. It amazes me that we have this conversation in the Democratic Party. I could see Democrats and Republicans arguing about it, but aren't the Democrats supposed to be?
So
this only hurts Democrats. The influence of money in politics only hurts Democrats, but then they keep justifying it because our system's so broken.
So here's the thing:
trying to get along in it.
I don't know what Bridgemon's position on this is exactly, but just for me. I want to see as many reforms made. I don't even think Bernie Sanders' reforms or that he wanted to make on money went far enough. I thought those were too weak.
But public funded elections was the ultimate goal, it's going to take a lot of work. It's more than the president.
I think that we should go further than that, but nonetheless,
I do too. Talk about that sometime.
With Hillary Clinton, at least she's trying to get rid of super PACs, and she's trying to get rid of these big immediate conflict of interest drivers. And that's useful.
How's she going to do that, though? Is she really trying to? I mean...
So the first thing that needs to happen is that the Supreme Court needs to be changed so that it's 5-4 liberals, right?
Right.
Clearly, if she wins, then we'll be able to do that. Then we'll have a Supreme Court that won't strike down the next campaign finance law
if we're talking about that alone,
and if we get majorities in Congress, then we can actually make those laws, and then they won't be struck down.
So she said
her game plan and Bernie's are no different in that sense.
Has she said that her litmus test for a Supreme Court appointment is...
I want to say that I've read an article, and it's like a couple of the people on Bernie's list and hers are the same. So her short list and Bernie, it's because the group of federal judges that you're going to pull from is only so big.
Right.
So, they're going to have overlapping people.
And it's almost always from the appeals courts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, it's not...
Well,
it's only a handful of people. Only Trump would do something stupid like pick the Superior Court judge from
Texas.
Something crazy
or just Joe Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio, yeah. Joe Arpaio on the damn Supreme Court. Yeah.